Hey everybody, welcome back to MineTime. I'm Lord Thunderpork, and today we're on this bridge to nowhere. That's right, this bridge doesn't go anywhere. And it doesn't go anywhere on either side. This side goes to what will eventually become the Blasted Jungle, a custom biome I'm planning. And the other side, with the path, will eventually turn into the courtyard and the Pork Palace. But in order to do that, we need to actually build something on either side of this pathway. Right now it's looking pretty desolate. So today, an Enderman just teleported next to the water up there. So today, let's get to work on the courtyard. We'll do some yard work. My friend, Mr. Enderman, you cannot decide where you want to be, can you? We also need a name for this island. Maybe we'll come up with one today. We'll see. To start, let's look at our map and see what we've got going on. We've got this gorgeous bridge and a pathway, but in the middle of everything here, it's a bunch of horse stables for horse breeding. We've got horses, donkeys, and mules in production that will eventually set up for our custom luxury Lamborghini business. Where did you go? What the heck? Ghost horse. Apparently. Huh. Okay. Well, anyway. So speaking of ghost horses and horses going places they shouldn't go, like in my face, these horses also should not be here. We've got to move these somewhere to make room for our courtyard and some kind of centerpiece. So let's do that now. You're going to be a pain, aren't you? If I get on you, I'm going to take damage. Yep. Uh-huh. Okay. Well, let's get to it. Move some horses. There we are. A lovely underground submerged stable. Subterranean, I think is the word I meant to say. Subterranean stable. We've got horses galore and llamas. Well, actually, no llamas here yet, but we've got mules, we've got donkeys, all sorts. So we've completely moved our horse breeding operation underground out of the way. And you might be wondering, where exactly is underground and out of the way? Well, it's on the other side of our nether portal. This makes it convenient to travel because we can take horses into the nether just like this, and immediately exit on the nether roof, because our server is using the nether roof as a main source of transportation. We've got ice boats over here. This is a horse I've got that I'll be using. That's a gold farm I'll actually be using soon because I gotta repair my tools. But yeah, it's super convenient. If we want to take horses back through, we just get off on them when they're in the portal, and they go through. Pretty convenient if you ask me. So now that our horses are underground, let's come up with something to fill the plaza, the courtyard. And maybe repair some tools. Check it out, we've got a fountain. As the sun rises, we'll be able to see the glory of the sun rays piercing the bridge, all the way down to the path, and to the fountain. I'm pretty happy with this fountain. It's got 9 different fountain points. We're using some stairs and blocks around the outside to make it look like a curve, but easy to walk up to and sit by. We're using basalt as the texture on the inside of the fountain. This is a nice kind of texture. I like it. It reminds me a little bit of a pool floor, and maybe these are coins that people have flicked into the fountain as a wishing well kind of situation. I'm not too sure what to do as the path around the outside yet, but we also got a bench attempt just as an idea for what could happen back here. So yeah, that's pretty nice. Next up, let's try to figure out what we can put around this fountain, around the courtyard, to make it look nice. Let's work on that. Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. I'm just a regular person walking along this bridge. Oh my, look at that. It's the beginnings of a castle, it seems. And look at that fountain. Boy, I'd sure like to take a look at it. Let's keep walking on this path to see if we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. I'm really quite pleased with how this turned out. the moss and the mossy cobblestone match the texture, and we're using them to transition into the savanna because the the green color of the grass in the savanna is much more yellow than in the forest biome over here. And so this allows us to have a natural transition where we maintain the color because moss doesn't depend on the biome. We're also using some green leaves out here, and we've got a little pig snout here. Just a small symbol of the pork palace, as I'm calling it. We also have the beginnings of a tower. How ominous. The tower. Beginnings of a tower here. I'm experimenting with the kind of blocks that we want to use for the pork palace, but this seems reasonably nice. We've got lanterns up here, and these slots are actually functionally defensive. We can shoot and to defend at people that might be invading us from over there, along the pathway. We have a pretty significant range of possible motion, actually. Like striking distance, I guess is what we might call it. So it's functional and it looks neat. And over here we have one as well, but this is just so we can see the sunset. I mean sunrise. Yeah. So, quite pleased with this. I'm gonna continue drafting more of the pork palace at some point. But today, our focus is on this courtyard, and we've got to make sure that this looks pretty. I think the next thing we ought to do is figure out what kind of path we're gonna make. We're trying out cobblestone and some dead coral blocks for a different kind of texture, a gray that's different from the bricks of the fountain and the castle. So let's try that, and maybe see if we can even replace this experimental path that was here. I was trying to do some brick textures, so we've got mushroom, terracotta, granite, and of course brick. Some other terracotta colors. Even a bed was an attempt, because it was white and red, but none of this really worked out, so let's try making a cohesive path up this slope, over to the fountain, all the way around it, linking these two and that path. We've made great progress today. Seriously, things are looking wonderful. We've got our courtyard, we've got the beginnings of the pork palace, we have a fountain, detailed path around the fountain, the path goes down to the fishing village. We have a few more blocks to place connecting the palace to the path and the red bridge path over to here, but that's trivial. Overall, this is looking really great. But we're still missing one important thing. A courtyard needs flowers for decoration, and we don't have any of those right now. However, you might remember in episode 4, we traveled far, far away to Flamefeather's base, and on the way, we passed a sugarcane ranch that we built. I remember there being a flower forest somewhere in that area. So if we find it, we can get flowers for our courtyard. We can make some flower banks, beds of flowers there, maybe one there, maybe one up here. I think that'd look really nice. And we don't have enough colorful flowers anyway. So let's go find that flower forest, make a farm, bring the flowers back and place them here. And that'll do it for the day, I think. Lo and behold, what's that in the distance? It appears to be our sugarcane shack. We made it. So let's rest here for the night, and then head out in the morning, and keep looking for that flower forest. Customary 3 doors. Place our bed down. Ah, monsters. I just picked up a block of lapis just floating in the water. Interesting. Anyway, here's the flower forest, at least part of it. Let's look for tulips. We have the beginnings of a flower farm, but we've also got monsters, so we're gonna take care of them first. I'm particularly interested in the skeletons, and that's because we need bones to make bone meal, because even though we have farms at home, I completely forgot to bring any bone meal. Well, that was not entirely successful, but I ended up getting bone meal, so that's nice. And some record discs. Record disc farming is pretty hard without special infrastructure. This flower farm produces only orange tulips, so we're going to try and find another place that produces a different color, like white, maybe pink, red, all those are good options. Looks like this one's pink, so maybe we'll try placing bone meal here repeatedly, see what happens. And that'll do it for today. We got flowers, we arranged them around the fountain in somewhat of a garden. I'm not completely happy with how it looks, but it's a start. I'm not an expert gardener after all. We got a lot done today. This entire section from the bridge is looking much more professional, and we even have a path down there to the fishing village. Next episode, I'm not exactly sure what we'll work on. Maybe the pork palace, maybe something else. Regardless, thanks a lot for watching, and I'm excited to show you what we get up to next time. Bye everyone, have a good one.